Hey team, welcome to the Step Outside YouTube channel. If you want to see more fishing action just like this, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hey team, hope you're keeping safe and well. We've got a show bigger than this fish. Here's what's on the lineup.
We head north and target a fish with a bucket mouth, the humble old cod. Learn how to tie a handy knot perfect for your lures. The Surtees 540 workmate. But now it's time to hit Harvey Bay. Today we're fishing on board Harvey Bay Fly and Sport Fishing with Andrew Chorley, more commonly known as Chozza. And if there's a spot out there that holds a fish, this bloke knows all about it. Harvey Bay is situated just south of the Capricornia coast of Queensland. Anglers come here to catch a variety of fish, from surface pelagics all the way to bottom dwellers on the reefs. Our first on the hit list is to gather some bait.
Team, we're finally here, we've arrived, we're so stoked, the team is pumped, the bait, well, it's alive and kicking in that back well. Let's get a pike down and see if we can come up trumps in this place known as the Cod Hole.
The gear we're running is not over-the-top tackle. We're not talking 50 to 80 pound gear. In fact, it's much lighter than that. These fish put up a top fight and everybody in the area starts to get amongst them. Let's check out the fishing gear that we're using in this situation.
So this is standard 6,000 size reel. You want a reel that doesn't have the peg handle. You want a nice handle that's going to be able to create grip like so. The line class is only 20 pounds, more than enough, but it will break at 40 pound. We've got 100 pound fluorocarbon leader here. This leader here is ideal to pull the fish out of the bottom, which is really, really cool. And of course the rod's got plenty of guts down below, but also a really, really nice light tip up this end of town here to create that bite. So you want guts down below, light tip, and you're going to be in the right money. The rig here, the sinker, is quite simple as well. We've got the sinker going straight down to the hook. Doesn't get much more simpler than that. So I've got about a 6.0 or a 7.0 and a size 8 ball sinker. Straight down, and away we go.
Still to come, I'll show you how to bait up a live pike and the gear gets bent. That's coming up on Step Outside.
So what we're doing here, we just go under this part of the jaw here. You want to hold the fish's head so you're not bending his jaw back too much. And just punch it straight through the top area, just like so. And we've got that size 10 ball sinking running straight down on the hook. So a really simple rig, and that there pins his jaw closed. And fingers crossed we'll turn that into a nice fish.
When fishing for cod, you want to make sure that you give them the bait. You don't want to hook it up too quick, otherwise you'll pull the bait straight out of their mouth. Remember, you're only using a small hook on the end of that pike. Give them some line, and when you do strike, make sure your drag is done correctly. Otherwise, they'll pull you straight back into their hole. You'll lose the fish straight away. Keep the drag set smoothly, and have a look at that rod. It's working absolutely perfect. Nice and light on the tip, but plenty of guts down below. Exactly what you want in this situation. It's going to be fun. You're not going too heavy. It's not a broomstick. It's a nice light outfit. And the end result awaits on the surface. Now here's some tips to catching cod. You're going to need an 8 to 12 kilo spin or overhead combo. Match it with 30 pound braid, 100 pound fluorocarbon leader, 807766 size hook with an 8 ball sinker. Remember to give them the bait, and before you strike, have that drag set. Good luck, you're going to need it.
Hey team, here's a quick tip for you. Have you ever fished with friends, family, or maybe some kids, or maybe even your wife or your husband, where you're out in the water, you cast out a country mile, but you'll find that generally if someone who's not a good fisherman can just cast right in front of them, they catch a big fish? Well, that's a good testament to say that you don't need to cast the distance all the time. In fact, these flats where I'm fishing now, the flathead will be in this deep water where it's only about a foot. And that's enough for them to get in there and ambush the prey coming off the areas. So, cast out and wind it back in right to your feet. And you'll be surprised what you'll see a couple of metres in front of you.
G'day guys, Justin Nye here from Gladstone Fly and Sport Fishing. I'm just going to show you a nice quick and simple loop knot to attach your jerkbait. So very simple, so you just make a nice little loop there in your leader and just slide him down about 2 inches. Feed it through the split ring there on the lure. Okay, then come back through the loop and just pull the loop down gently. You don't want to be left with a massive loop. You just want enough to give that lure some swing, and then do 3 wraps around the main line, then back through the loop. Give it a little bit of spit for lubrication there, slide it down, and you've got a nice free hanging loop.
Coming up, boat testing, the Surtees 540 Workmate. Today we're testing the Surtees 540 Workmate. It's the bigger brother of the 495 Workmate we tested on the show a couple of weeks ago. This boat oozes style, class, and also has plenty of ability to handle the chop. Check out the bow as it deflects the water downwards. No spray coming over this one. It also has that little bit of extra weight, allowing you to handle the chop when the wind gets up. The turning ability, well, that's quite simple. It's powered by only a 90 horsepower engine. You might want to go a little bit more if you're starting to put a few more people on board. However, that's all that's required to get this out of the hole quite quickly. Here's some attributes of the Surtees 540 Workmate. It's got typical Surtees features: anti-roll stability ballast technology, a tough deck, super rigid hull construction, RazorTech super smooth riding hull. That's perfect in the chop. Offshore transom with a boarding platform, you can't go wrong with that. And of course the standard Surtees 10-year hull warranty. Look, that's enough from me. Let's talk to the professionals who knows all about this vessel, Mark Golden from Northside Marine.
We're out here today on the 540 Surtees hardtop. This is a fairly new model in the Surtees range. This is just a fantastic plate boat in a smaller size for those that are wanting to get into the offshore fishing. It's not a big boat, it's not heavy, you don't need a big tow vehicle, but being a Surtees and being the construction of this boat, it's still extremely capable of getting offshore, nice and safe, and it would be a really good starting point for someone that's wanting to get to that next level of boating. This is the bait station on the new 540 hardtop Surtees. Really big, nice cutting board. This particular boat, as you'll see, I'll show you, but it has heaps and heaps of rod holders. We've got 8 up on the hardtop. We've got 5 out here on this bait board, and as you can see, some really nice rod holders in the coaming. Hugely wide side coaming, so not only is it a fantastic seat, it also really works well for climbing around the boat, accessing your rods off the rocket launcher. At the back here, we've actually got a really cool waterproof battery storage area. So in here, we've got our isolation switches for our battery, and we've got our batteries, and it just keeps all the terminals away from salt water, nice and clean, and there's also a bit of storage there for some of your favourite tackle. This here is the Surtees bait tank, live bait tank, so it gives you an ability for a pull-up door that locks into place. It's a checker plate aluminium lid for it, so nice and strong. You walk in and out over the live bait tank. And just overall, these boats are extremely well built in 0583 marine plate grade aluminium. And yeah, as you can see, checker plate floor, nice and simple, so they're very easy to maintain for those that are wanting to get them nice and dirty, get home and clean them nice and easily. One of the excellent features of all Surtees boats is their flooded keel system. So the bottom of the boat has the ability to fill with water, and we actually have the ability through this rope here to actually pull that tight, and that traps all the water here at rest in the bottom of the boat. So on this particular boat, it's around 250 kilos of additional water ballast, and if it's really rough and you're needing to get home through that rough, choppy water, we would probably trap that water in. We'll show you how well it stays in the boat when we get back to the ramp, but it just gives us a much nicer and smoother ride home. So even though this boat's extremely capable and we could get it out offshore on most decent weather days, we only have to power this 540 hardtop with a 90 horsepower Yamaha. Now this motor here will push us at over 60 kilometres an hour, so more than enough power for this boat.
And if you want to know more about the Surtees boats, there's a dealer in every state.
Well, half an hour certainly has gone quick, and Chozza hasn't made much ground. We'll see if we have it back next week, next time we step outside. See you then. Hurry up, mate. We're chewing into Gold Nuggets Australia.
Hey team, thanks for watching the Step Outside YouTube channel. If you want to see more fishing action like this, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Keep up to date with what's happening in your neck of the woods and our neck of the woods. It's going to be great viewing, great watching. It's all coming up on the Step Outside YouTube channel. Take it easy.